This is IGN. The National Video Game Museum has obtained a one-of-a-kind system, a Nintendo PlayStation. Welcome to your IGN Daily Update. But first, Amazon has unofficially made Pokémon Pokopia an $80 Nintendo Switch 2 game after the retailer suddenly increased the price for the new Life Sims Physical Edition amid supply constraints. Numerous retailers have completely run out of Pokémon Pokopia boxed copies, though Amazon still has availability in the US, albeit now at the higher price of $80. It's the second time in as many months that Amazon has jacked up the price of a physical Switch 2 game while demand is high. A couple of weeks ago, the retailer was selling Resident Evil Requiem on Switch 2 for $76.84, almost $7 more than its recommended retail price. Pokémon Pokopia has a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $70, which Amazon has maintained if you just wish to buy a digital download code. But right now, a boxed copy of the game will cost you $79.99, up $10 for seemingly no other reason than the fact that its stock is hard to find. Physical copies of Pokémon Pokopia appear limited outside the US, too. On Monday, the game business chief Chris Dring wrote on social media that the game was seriously undersupplied at UK retail, which has resulted in less than half the Switch 2 physical launch sales of last year's Pokémon Legends Z-A. So what's going on here? Has Nintendo intentionally kept physical stock low? Officially, Nintendo has only marked Switch 2 launch title Mario Kart World as an $80 game, though the full price of several Switch 2 edition re-releases of existing Switch 1 games have also hit the same high price point. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Super Mario Party Jamboree Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Previously, Nintendo has said it will experiment with variable pricing for games on its latest console, while retailers are of course able to charge whatever they like. Meanwhile, Sony is reportedly testing dynamic pricing on the PlayStation Store. As first reported by PS Prices, Sony is allegedly running an A/B testing system that shows different prices to different users as part of an experiment. The report suggests the test has been running since November 2025 and currently impacts over 150 games in 68 territories. You may remember the backlash to dynamic pricing when concert ticket vendor Ticketmaster was accused of hiking the price of high-demand tickets for the Oasis reunion tour, prompting intervention from the UK government and new rules to prevent the resale of tickets for live events above the original cost. Of course, the issue there was scaling prices up when demand surged, whereas Sony's test appears to be examining the impact of discounts and a customer's prior purchase history. PS Prices said it spotted the trend because it tracks PlayStation Store prices in more than 50 regions. Games thought to be part of the test include PlayStation-published titles like God of War, Spider-Man, Helldivers 2, and Stellar Blade, with, quote, personalized discounts also popping up during sales, offering discounts as high as 12.5%. Some third-party games have also seemingly been involved, including WWE 2K25, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and more, offering discounts anywhere from 5.3 to 17.6%. The National Video Game Museum, or NVM, has announced the acquisition of a wildly rare and strange artifact of video game history, a Nintendo PlayStation. And not just any Nintendo PlayStation, the oldest one, the original development system that was once used to prototype the strange collaboration system that ultimately never made it to release. This comes from a Twitter or X post shared by the NVM, which included photos of the machine. The NVM has acquired the mythical Nintendo PlayStation, it reads. This Sony MSF1 is the oldest known existing Nintendo PlayStation hardware artifact and is the original development system for Sony's planned Super Nintendo CD attachment. It is the only known unit to exist. One of the biggest what-ifs of all time now lives here at the NVM. The Nintendo PlayStation was a strange product of an early 1990s partnership led by Sony's Ken Kutaragi between Sony and Nintendo to develop an attachment for the Super Nintendo that would play CD-ROMs. Only a few hundred prototypes were produced before Nintendo's ongoing partnership with Philips for a similar machine around the same time caused tensions and the two split. Philips and Nintendo's partnership for a CD-ROM attachment also fell apart sometime after, but Sony's work on the prototype helped spark the company's eventual development of the PlayStation 1. A handful of the prototypes have popped up in various places over the years, and Kutaragi still has one as well. But this version at the NVM is even more special, as it's the original development system and the only one of its kind. As a result, it looks quite distinct from the few other Nintendo PlayStations that we've seen. It's all function and no form, well before designers had gotten around to smoothing out those corners. With the NVM acquiring this strange, rare relic, that hopefully means more people will have access to this bit of video game history. It will hopefully end up on display in the museum itself and well cared for, an improvement after at least one prototype was found stashed and yellowing in a box of random items. That's your IGN Daily Update. My name is Tony Jackson, and if you want more news on your favorite games and entertainment topics, make sure to visit us at IGN.com. You can also download our free app on your phone or console and subscribe to our weekly podcasts through the podcast service of your choice.
Spoken Layer.